What if I told you that the version of you living this life isn't the only version of you that exists? In fact, there are countless versions of yourself, each living out different possibilities in parallel realities. But here's the twist: you have access to the wisdom and guidance of all these versions through your higher self. The key to unlocking this powerful connection lies in tapping into these alternate realities, where your higher self serves as the bridge between them all. Curious? Ready to discover how this hidden knowledge can transform your spiritual journey and your life? Let's dive in. The higher self is often described as a guide, a part of you that exists beyond the boundaries of time and space. But what if this higher self is not just confined to one version of you? In parallel realities, different versions of yourself are living out different possibilities, and your higher self connects to all of them. It's like being the conductor of an orchestra, with each version of you playing a different instrument, all working together to create harmony. Imagine your higher self as the ultimate teacher. It has lived through multiple versions of reality and gathered wisdom from each one. While one version of you might be struggling with a particular decision, another might have already overcome it. Your higher self can access that experience and guide you accordingly. This connection is what allows you to feel moments of clarity when you least expect them. It's the wisdom of your parallel selves being channeled to you. The role of the higher self in parallel realities isn't just about providing guidance, it's also about helping you navigate complex spiritual lessons. These lessons often come in the form of challenges or opportunities for growth. When you're aligned with your higher self, you can view these situations from a broader perspective, understanding that they serve a greater purpose in your spiritual journey. For instance, let's say you're facing a difficult career choice. Your higher self, through its connection with parallel versions of you, may nudge you toward the option that leads to the most growth. It's not necessarily the easiest path, but it's the one aligned with your highest potential. This is why trusting your intuition, those gut feelings that seem to come from nowhere, can be so powerful. In meditation, when you focus on connecting with your higher self, you are not just seeking guidance from within. You're tapping into a network of wisdom that spans multiple realities. Visualizing this connection can help you feel more centered and aware of the vast spiritual resources available to you. You're not just one person facing one set of circumstances, you're a collective of experiences, all working together for your evolution. One practical way to strengthen this connection is by practicing mindfulness in everyday decisions. For example, when you're about to make a significant choice, take a moment to breathe deeply and ask yourself, what would my higher self do? This simple act can shift your mindset and bring clarity to even the most complicated situations. You'll find that decisions guided by the higher self often feel more aligned with your true purpose. It's fascinating to think about how your higher self interacts with these different versions of you, helping to integrate the lessons learned across realities. This integration is essential for spiritual growth. It's like gathering puzzle pieces from different boxes and seeing how they fit together. The more aware you become of this process, the more intentional you can be in your spiritual practices. This idea also highlights the importance of paying attention to signs from your higher self. Synchronicities, those seemingly random coincidences, are often messages from your higher self guiding you in the right direction. Have you ever thought about a friend and they suddenly text you? Or had a song play at just the right moment? These are subtle nudges, clues that your higher self is actively involved in your journey. In the end, your higher self is always seeking to help you align with your highest purpose. It's not about controlling every outcome, but about helping you understand the bigger picture. The more you tune into this guidance, the more your life will flow in harmony with the lessons and opportunities that exist across your parallel realities. As you continue to explore the concept of the higher self, it becomes clear that this connection is not something distant or unattainable. It's accessible in every moment, through meditation, intuition, and the practice of mindfulness. By nurturing this connection, you open yourself up to greater clarity, purpose, and alignment in all aspects of your life. Connecting with your higher self is not as mystical as it may sound. It's a process that involves deliberate practice, grounded in techniques that have been used for centuries. One of the most powerful ways to establish this connection is through meditation. In meditation, you calm the chatter of the mind and open yourself up to the guidance of your higher self, which exists beyond your everyday awareness. It's like tuning into a frequency that has always been there, but you just needed the right tools to hear it. Visualizations can also play a key role in this connection. By imagining yourself stepping into a space where you're directly interacting with your higher self, you create a mental bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. Some people like to visualize their higher self as a radiant figure, others see it as pure light. Whatever form it takes, this mental imagery helps make the connection feel more real, more tangible, and ultimately, more effective. To deepen this connection, you might explore practices like journaling. After a meditation session, take a moment to write down any thoughts, feelings, or insights that arise. This act of reflection can solidify the connection, helping you to identify patterns or recurring themes that may be messages from your higher self. It's often in these quiet moments of reflection that the most profound guidance emerges. But don't think that you need to spend hours in silence to connect with your higher self. Even a few minutes of focused breathing can bring you closer to that inner wisdom. One simple technique is to close your eyes, take 5 deep breaths, and repeat silently, "I am aligned with my higher self." This mantra, paired with deep breathing, creates a powerful shift in your energy, helping you align with the wisdom that's always available to you. Another way to access your higher self is by paying attention to your dreams. In many spiritual traditions, dreams are seen as a gateway to the soul. Your higher self can communicate through dreams, offering symbolic messages that reflect what's happening in your waking life. Keeping a dream journal by your bedside and writing down anything that stands out can help you decipher the deeper meanings and messages from your higher self. Intuition is another tool in the process of connection. That gut feeling you get? It's often your higher self trying to guide you. Learning to trust those instincts, even when they don't make logical sense at the time, can strengthen the connection. The more you act on your intuition, the more you'll notice the synchronicities and opportunities that arise as a result. It's all part of the flow. One practical example is when you're unsure about a decision, perhaps something related to a relationship or a career move. Instead of getting lost in overthinking, sit quietly, breathe, and ask your higher self for clarity. You might not get an immediate answer, but you'll notice that over the next few days, situations or thoughts will align to give you the guidance you need. This is how the process works, subtly but powerfully. Spending time in nature can also facilitate a stronger connection with your higher self. Nature has a calming effect on the mind and body, allowing you to tap into the more subtle, spiritual realms of your existence. Whether it's a walk in the park or simply sitting under a tree, being in nature helps to ground your energy, making it easier to connect with the wisdom of your higher self. Lastly, consistency is key. Like any relationship, your connection with your higher self strengthens over time with regular practice. Whether it's through daily meditation, mindful reflection, or intuitive decision-making, the more you engage with these practices, the clearer the connection becomes. It's a process of deepening your trust in yourself and the wisdom that is always available to you. Opening yourself to your higher self is not about perfection, but about presence. By incorporating these practices into your daily life, you'll notice a profound shift, not only in how you view yourself but in how you experience the world around you. The connection is always there, waiting for you to tap in and align with the deeper wisdom that lies within. When you connect with your higher self, the benefits ripple through every aspect of your life. One of the most immediate effects is a deep sense of clarity. Life often feels chaotic, with so many decisions and distractions pulling you in different directions. But when you tap into the wisdom of your higher self, everything starts to make sense. You begin to see patterns and recognize what truly matters, giving you the clarity to make decisions that align with your higher purpose. Another profound benefit is the sense of peace that comes with this connection. There's a certain calm that washes over you when you know that you're guided by something greater than your everyday thoughts and worries. This peace isn't about escaping reality, but about embracing it fully, knowing that, no matter what happens, your higher self is guiding you toward growth and learning. It's like being in the eye of a storm, calm and centered, while everything around you swirls in chaos. This connection also leads to an increased sense of alignment. You feel more in sync with your true purpose and start to notice how your decisions, actions, and relationships fall into place more naturally. You're no longer pushing against the current of life, but flowing with it. For example, someone who feels lost in their career might find that, after connecting with their higher self, they're drawn to new opportunities that better reflect their true desires and values. On a practical level, this alignment translates into better decision-making. When you're connected to your higher self, you're not just reacting to situations based on fear or anxiety. Instead, you're making choices from a place of wisdom and inner knowing. Take relationships, for instance. When you're aligned with your higher self, you might find that toxic relationships naturally fall away, and you attract people who resonate with your true self. One of the most empowering benefits is emotional healing. Many of us carry wounds from the past, whether they stem from childhood, relationships, or other life experiences. Your higher self helps you see these wounds from a new perspective, offering the insight and understanding needed for healing. By connecting with this higher aspect of yourself, you can release old patterns and emotions that no longer serve you, creating space for new growth and transformation. This emotional healing is often accompanied by a sense of spiritual growth. As you continue to align with your higher self, you expand your consciousness, becoming more aware of the interconnectedness of all things. You start to see the bigger picture, not just in your own life, but in the lives of those around you. This expansion of consciousness opens the door to deeper compassion, understanding, and wisdom. Your intuition also becomes sharper. It's like having a direct line to the answers you've been seeking. Have you ever had a moment where you just knew something, even though you couldn't explain why? That's your higher self communicating with you. The more you connect with this aspect of yourself, the more frequently these moments of intuitive clarity will occur, guiding you toward the best possible outcomes. This connection also fosters a stronger sense of purpose. When you align with your higher self, you start to understand your role in the bigger scheme of things. You're not just living day to day, but moving toward a greater goal that's in line with your soul's journey. This sense of purpose brings fulfillment, as you realize that every experience, every challenge, is part of your growth and evolution. Another benefit is the deepening of your spiritual practices. Whether it's meditation, prayer, or mindfulness, connecting with your higher self enhances these practices by adding a new layer of depth and meaning. You're no longer just going through the motions, you're engaging with your spiritual practices in a way that feels personal and transformative. This brings a sense of joy and fulfillment that goes beyond the material world. Ultimately, the connection with your higher self is about living with intention. You begin to approach every aspect of life, relationships, work, personal growth, from a place of deep awareness and alignment. The benefits are not just internal but also external, as the world around you shifts to reflect the clarity, peace, and purpose you feel within. And this is just the beginning of what's possible when you embrace the guidance of your higher self. One of the most fascinating roles of the higher self is its ability to integrate the lessons and experiences from your parallel selves. Imagine your life as a tree, with each version of you as a branch extending in different directions. Your higher self is the trunk, the core that holds all these experiences together. By connecting with your higher self, you're able to draw from the wisdom of these various versions, each living out different choices and possibilities. This integration isn't just about knowledge, it's about unifying different aspects of your soul's journey. Each version of you is experiencing life in its own unique way, but they all share the same higher self. When you tap into this source, you bring together the strengths, lessons, and insights from all your versions. It's like combining the best parts of every reality to enhance your growth in this one. For example, let's say one version of you has mastered a skill that you've always struggled with in this reality. Through the connection with your higher self, you can tap into that version's mastery and apply it in your own life. This process of integration allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that you have access to a much broader range of experiences than what's visible in your current reality. The higher self plays the role of a guide in this process, helping you identify which lessons and skills are most relevant to your spiritual growth. It's like having a mentor who knows all the different paths you could take and offers you the best route based on the sum of your experiences across dimensions. This guidance helps you avoid unnecessary detours and focus on the lessons that will bring you closer to your purpose. This integration also accelerates your spiritual evolution. As you draw from the experiences of your parallel selves, you're able to learn at a faster pace. Instead of going through the same challenges multiple times in different realities, you can integrate the lessons from one version and apply them in another. This not only saves time, but also deepens your understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. One of the key benefits of this integration is the sense of wholeness it brings. Many people feel fragmented, as if parts of themselves are scattered across different areas of their lives. By connecting with your higher self and integrating these versions, you start to feel more complete. It's like pulling all the pieces of a puzzle together to reveal the full picture of who you are and what you're capable of. This process also brings a greater sense of alignment with your purpose. As you integrate the lessons from your parallel selves, you begin to see how each experience, no matter how different, contributes to your overall journey. This alignment helps you make decisions that are not just based on your current circumstances, but on the wisdom and insights of all your versions. It's like having access to a higher level of strategic planning for your life. The integration of parallel versions also has a profound impact on your relationships. As you become more aware of the different aspects of yourself, you're able to bring more authenticity and depth to your interactions with others. You start to see how your experiences, both in this reality and in others, shape the way you connect with people. This awareness can transform your relationships, making them more meaningful and aligned with your true self. It's important to remember that this integration process isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual unfolding, guided by your higher self, that deepens as you continue your spiritual practices. Meditation, visualization, and mindful reflection are key tools in facilitating this process. The more you engage with these practices, the more integrated you become, drawing from the vast well of experiences available to you. In the end, the role of the higher self in integrating your parallel versions is about bringing you closer to your highest potential. By unifying the lessons, skills, and insights from all your versions, you become a more complete, aligned, and spiritually evolved being. And this integration continues to unfold as you move forward on your journey, always guided by the wisdom of your higher self. One of the most fascinating aspects of connecting with your higher self is how it communicates through subtle signs. These signs often come in the form of synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. Have you ever thought of someone, and they suddenly called you? Or noticed a repeated number pattern, like 1111, just when you were contemplating an important decision? These are not accidents, they are signs that your higher self is guiding you. Synchronicities are a way for the higher self to nudge you in the right direction. It's like receiving a secret code from the universe, confirming that you're on the right path. These moments are often linked to your intuition, when something just feels right but you can't quite explain why. The more you pay attention to these signs, the more you'll notice them, and the more confident you'll feel in trusting your inner guidance. Intuition itself is one of the most powerful ways your higher self communicates. That gut feeling you get before making a big decision? That's your higher self speaking through the layers of your consciousness, offering insight that goes beyond logic. Learning to trust these intuitive nudges can be life-changing. Imagine being able to confidently navigate your life, knowing that you're guided by a deeper wisdom that always has your best interest at heart. For example, let's say you're considering a major career move. You might suddenly notice that every time you think about it, you see certain signs. Perhaps you keep running into articles or conversations about the industry you're contemplating. These signs are ways your higher self communicates its approval or disapproval, offering guidance through the world around you. It's up to you to interpret these signs and act accordingly. Another way your higher self sends messages is through dreams. While you sleep, the conscious mind relaxes, allowing the subconscious and the higher self to communicate more freely. You might have vivid dreams with symbolic meanings that reflect what's going on in your waking life. Keeping a dream journal can help you track these messages and better understand the deeper guidance your higher self is offering. These signs are not always grand or obvious. Sometimes, they show up in the form of a quiet sense of peace when you're making the right decision, or a persistent feeling of unease when you're moving in the wrong direction. Your emotions are powerful indicators of your alignment with your higher self. If you're feeling joy, excitement, or even calm determination, it's likely that you're in tune with your higher self. If you're feeling resistance, doubt, or fear, it might be time to reassess your path. When you begin to recognize these signs, the next step is to trust them. Many people notice synchronicities or feel intuitive nudges, but second-guess themselves, thinking it's just their imagination. However, the more you trust these signals, the clearer they become. It's like fine-tuning a radio station. At first, it might be a little fuzzy, but the more you practice listening, the clearer the signal gets. One practical way to work with these signs is through mindfulness. By staying present in the moment, you become more attuned to the subtle cues your higher self is sending. Whether it's a conversation, a song on the radio, or a chance encounter, being fully aware of your surroundings allows you to pick up on the guidance that's always available. This presence is key to interpreting and acting on the signs you receive. It's also important to remember that signs from the higher self are unique to each person. What might be a clear message to one person could mean something entirely different to another. That's why it's essential to develop your own personal relationship with your higher self, learning how it communicates with you specifically. Over time, you'll become more adept at recognizing and interpreting the signs meant for you. As you continue to deepen this connection, you'll find that life feels more guided, as if an invisible hand is gently steering you in the right direction. The signs are always there, you just have to be open and willing to see them. And the more you trust these signs, the stronger your connection with your higher self becomes, leading to a life of greater clarity, purpose, and spiritual alignment. One of the biggest challenges in connecting with your higher self is overcoming the emotional and spiritual blocks that stand in the way. These blocks can take many forms: doubt, fear, past trauma, or even negative beliefs about yourself. It's like trying to tune into a radio station, but all you hear is static. The signal from your higher self is there, but these blocks create interference, making it difficult to hear the guidance clearly. One of the most common blocks is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, or even fear of your own potential, can keep you from accessing the wisdom of your higher self. This fear often manifests as self-doubt, leading you to second-guess your intuition and ignore the signs from your higher self. Overcoming this block starts with acknowledging the fear and understanding that it's a natural part of the human experience. It's not about eliminating fear, but learning to move through it with courage. Another major block is unresolved emotional trauma. Past experiences, especially those that caused deep emotional pain, can create walls around your heart, making it hard to open up to the guidance of your higher self. Healing these wounds is a crucial step in clearing the path for connection. This might involve practices like journaling, therapy, or energy healing modalities that focus on releasing trapped emotions and restoring emotional balance. Sometimes, spiritual blocks come in the form of limiting beliefs. These are the stories we tell ourselves about what's possible or what we're capable of. If you've ever thought, "I'm not spiritual enough," or "I'll never be able to connect with my higher self," you're dealing with a limiting belief. These thoughts create a mental block, shutting down your ability to access the higher wisdom within you. The first step in breaking through these beliefs is to recognize them for what they are: thoughts, not facts. One powerful way to dissolve these blocks is through meditation. In meditation, you can quiet the mind and create space for the higher self to come through. A specific meditation technique you might try is the practice of loving kindness. By focusing on sending love and compassion to yourself and others, you open your heart and release emotional blocks that might be preventing connection. Over time, this practice can help dissolve even the deepest emotional barriers. Breathwork is another tool that can help you break through spiritual and emotional blocks. Deep, intentional breathing helps move stuck energy through the body, releasing tension and clearing the mind. It's a simple yet powerful way to shift your energy and create space for your higher self to step in. Even just 5 minutes of focused breathwork a day can make a noticeable difference in how connected you feel. Another practical step is to examine your environment. Sometimes, the people, places, or situations around us create blocks without us even realizing it. If you're surrounded by negativity or distraction, it can be harder to connect with your higher self. Take a moment to evaluate whether your environment supports your spiritual growth. This might mean spending more time in nature, creating a peaceful space in your home for meditation, or setting boundaries with people who drain your energy. It's also important to cultivate patience. Spiritual growth and connection with your higher self are not things that happen overnight. It's easy to get frustrated when you don't see immediate results, but this impatience can become its own block. Trust that the process is unfolding as it should, and give yourself permission to grow at your own pace. Your higher self is always there, waiting for you to clear the path. One more way to overcome these blocks is through self-compassion. Many people are hard on themselves when they feel disconnected from their spiritual side. They might think they're not doing enough or that they're somehow failing in their spiritual journey. But the truth is, the very act of seeking connection is a sign that you're on the right path. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you create a more open and receptive space for the higher self to come through. In the end, overcoming blocks to connect with your higher self is about self-awareness and intentional action. By addressing the emotional, spiritual, and environmental factors that create barriers, you can open up the channel for deeper connection. The path may not always be easy, but with persistence, patience, and self-compassion, you can break through these blocks and access the higher wisdom that's always been within you. When you connect with your higher self, it doesn't just affect your inner world, it transforms your relationships with others as well. This connection gives you a deeper understanding of who you are, which naturally improves how you relate to those around you. You become more aligned with your true self, and this authenticity radiates into your interactions, allowing for deeper, more meaningful connections with the people in your life. One of the most noticeable changes is that you begin to attract relationships that resonate with your spiritual growth. The more in tune you are with your higher self, the more you naturally distance yourself from toxic or draining relationships. It's not that you need to cut people off intentionally, it happens organically. As you align with your higher self, you raise your vibration, and people who are not aligned with that energy often fall away, making space for healthier, more fulfilling connections. Connecting with your higher self also helps you develop greater compassion. As you deepen your awareness of your own spiritual journey, you start to see that everyone around you is on their own unique path. This realization brings a sense of empathy and understanding, even for those who may challenge you. It's easier to forgive, to let go of resentment, and to approach relationships from a place of love rather than fear or judgment. Take, for instance, a relationship that has been fraught with conflict. By connecting with your higher self, you might gain insight into the lessons this relationship is offering you. Perhaps it's teaching you about patience, or maybe it's showing you how to set boundaries. Whatever the lesson, your higher self can help you see the bigger picture, making it easier to navigate the challenges with grace and wisdom. This connection also helps you communicate more effectively. When you're aligned with your higher self, your words come from a place of authenticity and truth. You're less likely to engage in unnecessary arguments or drama because you're grounded in your inner wisdom. Conversations become more meaningful, and misunderstandings are less frequent. It's as if you're speaking from a deeper place of knowing, and others can sense that. Another impact of this connection is the ability to recognize when a relationship has served its purpose. Not all relationships are meant to last forever, and that's okay. Your higher self helps you understand when it's time to let go of a relationship that is no longer serving your growth. This doesn't have to be a painful process, it can be a peaceful release, knowing that both you and the other person have gained what you needed from the connection. On the flip side, the relationships that do stay in your life are often strengthened by your connection with your higher self. You bring more of your true self into these relationships, which fosters deeper trust, love, and mutual respect. These relationships become a source of support and encouragement, helping you to continue growing spiritually while also contributing to the growth of the people you're connected with. Romantic relationships, in particular, can benefit from this connection. When you're in tune with your higher self, you're less likely to project your insecurities or unmet needs onto your partner. Instead, you approach the relationship from a place of wholeness, where both partners are responsible for their own growth and happiness. This creates a balanced and harmonious dynamic, where both people are free to evolve individually and together. This connection also helps you navigate difficult moments in relationships. Whether it's a disagreement or a moment of misunderstanding, your higher self offers clarity and perspective. It helps you see beyond the immediate conflict and understand the underlying issues that need to be addressed. This insight makes it easier to resolve conflicts and strengthen the relationship in the long run. Ultimately, the impact of connecting with your higher self on your relationships is profound. As you become more aligned with your true self, your relationships naturally reflect this alignment. You attract people who support your growth, and you cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections. The guidance of your higher self ensures that your relationships are not just a part of your life, but a vital part of your spiritual journey. Making decisions is a part of daily life, but when those decisions are guided by your higher self, they take on a deeper meaning. Instead of choosing based on fear, doubt, or societal expectations, you start to make choices that align with your spiritual purpose. The guidance from your higher self offers clarity, helping you see beyond immediate concerns and into the bigger picture of your life's journey. One of the greatest benefits of this connection is that it removes the pressure to always get it right. When you trust that your higher self is guiding you, you realize that even when things don't go as planned, there's a lesson to be learned. Every decision, whether it leads to success or challenge, becomes part of your spiritual growth. This mindset takes away the fear of failure and allows you to move through life with greater confidence. In moments of uncertainty, your higher self can provide direction in a way that feels natural and intuitive. You might receive a sudden insight or feel a strong pull toward one option over another. These moments of clarity are your higher self communicating, showing you the path that aligns with your highest good. It's important to trust these intuitive nudges, even if they don't make logical sense at first. For example, imagine you're offered 2 job opportunities. One seems perfect on paper, good salary, great benefits, but something feels off. The other might not seem as glamorous, but feels more aligned with your values and long-term goals. By tuning into your higher self, you can sense which choice is more in line with your spiritual purpose. The decision becomes less about what looks good on the surface and more about what feels right on a deeper level. Your higher self also helps you make decisions in relationships. Whether it's deciding to enter a new relationship, set boundaries, or walk away from one that no longer serves you, this guidance ensures that your choices are rooted in love and wisdom. Instead of reacting out of emotion, you pause and consult your higher self, which provides a broader perspective on what's best for you and the other person involved. In times of crisis or when facing life-altering decisions, the role of your higher self becomes even more crucial. When emotions run high, it can be difficult to think clearly. But by taking a step back and connecting with your higher self, you're able to rise above the emotional turbulence and make decisions from a place of calm and centeredness. It's like having a wise mentor guiding you through the storm, helping you stay grounded in your truth. One practical way to consult your higher self in decision-making is through meditation or quiet reflection. Before making a big decision, take a few moments to sit in silence, breathe deeply, and ask for guidance. You might not receive an answer immediately, but over time, as you stay open and receptive, the right course of action will reveal itself. Trust that your higher self knows the way, even if the path isn't immediately clear. Journaling can also be a helpful tool in decision-making. Writing down your thoughts and feelings about a situation allows you to step back and gain perspective. As you write, you may find that the guidance from your higher self comes through, offering insights that you hadn't considered before. This process helps you tap into that inner wisdom and make decisions with greater clarity and confidence. Another important aspect of decisions guided by your higher self is that they often feel lighter and more effortless. When you're aligned with your higher self, decisions don't feel like a burden, they feel like a natural part of your journey. You might still face challenges along the way, but you'll have a sense of peace knowing that you're following a path that's aligned with your highest potential. In the end, making decisions with the guidance of your higher self is about trusting the process. You don't have to have all the answers right away. By staying connected to your higher self, you allow the right choices to unfold at the right time. This trust in your inner guidance brings a sense of freedom and ease to your life, knowing that you're always supported on your spiritual journey. The higher self isn't just a personal guide, it's also a portal to universal wisdom. This wisdom transcends individual experience and taps into a deeper, collective knowledge that connects all beings. When you connect with your higher self, you're not just accessing your own insights, you're opening the door to the wisdom of the universe itself. This is where true spiritual growth happens, when you realize that your higher self is part of something much greater than you. This connection to universal wisdom means that the guidance from your higher self often feels timeless. It's not just advice for the moment, it's knowledge that resonates deeply with your soul, offering insights that apply to your entire journey. You might notice that the advice from your higher self aligns with spiritual teachings that have been passed down through generations. This is because universal wisdom is eternal, guiding countless souls on their paths of evolution. One of the most profound ways to access this universal wisdom is through meditation. In a meditative state, the mind quiets, and the connection to your higher self deepens. It's in these moments of stillness that you can tap into the knowledge that exists beyond your individual experiences. You might receive insights that feel like they've come from nowhere, but in reality, they're coming from the vast reservoir of wisdom that your higher self has access to. Imagine facing a difficult situation where the answer isn't clear. By connecting with your higher self, you can draw from this universal wisdom to gain clarity and perspective. It's like having access to a library of spiritual knowledge, filled with insights on how to navigate life's challenges. Your higher self acts as the librarian, guiding you to the wisdom you need in that moment. This guidance often feels deeply resonant, as if it's speaking to the core of who you are. This connection to universal wisdom is also where many spiritual teachers and sages draw their insights. They aren't simply sharing personal experiences, they're tapping into the same well of knowledge that's available to everyone. When you connect with your higher self, you too can access this wisdom and use it to guide your own spiritual journey. It's a powerful reminder that the answers you seek are not external, they're already within you, waiting to be discovered. One practical way to strengthen this connection is by asking your higher self for guidance on broader, existential questions. These might be questions about your purpose, the nature of reality, or the meaning behind certain life experiences. By quieting the mind and focusing on these questions in meditation or reflection, you open yourself up to the wisdom that goes beyond your immediate understanding. The answers may not come right away, but with patience, they will reveal themselves. Another way to access this wisdom is through practices like automatic writing or stream of consciousness journaling. In these exercises, you write without thinking, allowing your higher self to communicate through you. Many people find that when they look back at what they've written, they're surprised by the depth and clarity of the insights. This is because the writing process bypasses the logical mind, allowing the universal wisdom to flow freely. This wisdom is not limited to spiritual matters, it can apply to everyday life as well. Whether it's advice on how to handle a difficult conversation, insights into a health challenge, or guidance on making a big decision, your higher self can draw from universal wisdom to offer solutions that are aligned with your highest good. The more you trust this guidance, the more you'll find that it leads to outcomes that benefit not only you, but those around you. It's also important to remember that this wisdom isn't static, it evolves as you grow spiritually. As you deepen your connection with your higher self, you gain access to higher levels of understanding. What may have seemed like an unsolvable problem a year ago might now appear simple, as your higher self reveals new layers of wisdom that you weren't ready for before. This is the beauty of spiritual evolution, there's always more to learn, more to understand. In the end, the higher self serves as a bridge between your individual experience and the universal wisdom that guides all of creation. By connecting with this source, you open yourself up to a well of knowledge that can transform your life in ways you never imagined. The answers are always there, waiting for you to tap into them. And as you continue to trust and follow the guidance of your higher self, you'll find that this wisdom becomes a guiding force in every aspect of your life. Maintaining a constant connection with your higher self isn't something that happens by accident, it requires intention and practice. Like any relationship, the bond between you and your higher self strengthens over time through consistent effort. The good news is, once you establish this connection, it becomes easier to nurture it. The key is incorporating daily practices that keep the lines of communication open, allowing your higher self to guide you through both big decisions and everyday moments. One of the most effective ways to maintain this connection is through a daily meditation practice. Even just a few minutes each day dedicated to quieting the mind can make a huge difference. In these moments of stillness, you allow your higher self to step forward and offer the clarity and guidance you need. It's not about reaching some mystical state of enlightenment, it's about being present, open, and receptive to the wisdom that's always available to you. Another powerful practice is setting intentions throughout your day. Before starting a new task or making a decision, take a moment to pause, breathe, and invite your higher self to guide you. This simple act of mindfulness helps you stay aligned with your higher purpose and ensures that your actions are in harmony with your spiritual path. It also helps you avoid getting caught up in the chaos of everyday life, keeping you grounded in what truly matters. Journaling is another tool that can help you maintain a strong connection with your higher self. By reflecting on your thoughts, feelings, and experiences each day, you create space for your higher self to offer insights and guidance. Writing down your experiences not only helps you process your emotions, but also allows you to track the patterns and synchronicities that show up in your life. This practice can be a powerful reminder of how your higher self is always guiding you, even in the smallest details. It's also important to stay connected with your body. Physical practices like yoga, tai chi, or simply taking a walk in nature can help you ground your energy and clear any blocks that may be interfering with your connection. When your body feels balanced and aligned, it becomes easier to access the guidance of your higher self. These practices help you stay present in the moment, which is essential for maintaining a strong spiritual connection. Consistency is key when it comes to keeping this connection alive. It's easy to feel connected when life is going smoothly, but the real challenge comes when things get tough. During these times, it's more important than ever to lean on your higher self for support. Instead of letting stress or fear take over, make it a habit to pause, breathe, and ask for guidance. This consistent practice will strengthen your ability to stay connected, no matter what's happening in your external world. Another way to maintain this connection is through acts of service. When you align your actions with love, compassion, and kindness, you naturally strengthen your bond with your higher self. Whether it's helping a friend, volunteering, or simply offering a kind word to someone in need, these acts remind you of the interconnectedness of all things. They also help you stay aligned with the higher purpose that your higher self is guiding you toward. Gratitude is another powerful practice for maintaining a connection with your higher self. By regularly taking time to reflect on what you're grateful for, you shift your focus from what's lacking in your life to what's abundant. This positive shift in perspective opens your heart and raises your vibration, making it easier to connect with your higher self. It's a simple yet profound way to stay aligned with your spiritual path. It's also helpful to surround yourself with reminders of your higher self. This could be through inspirational quotes, spiritual books, or even certain objects that hold meaning for you. These reminders help keep your focus on the bigger picture and serve as touchstones to reconnect with your higher self throughout the day. They act as little prompts, nudging you back into alignment whenever you feel disconnected. Finally, remember that maintaining a connection with your higher self is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when the connection feels strong and others when it feels distant. That's okay. What matters is your commitment to nurturing this relationship over time. With each day, each practice, you're building a deeper connection that will serve you throughout your life. Trust in the process, and know that your higher self is always there, ready to guide you whenever you're ready to listen. Now that you've gained these insights, the real question is, are you ready to apply them? Your higher self is always there, waiting to guide you through life's challenges and help you align with your highest purpose. But it's up to you to take that first step. What decisions will you make today, with the help of your higher self? What blocks are you ready to overcome? The power is in your hands. If you're serious about elevating your spiritual journey, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an opportunity to dive deeper into this wisdom. If this exploration of your higher self and parallel reality sparked something in you, there's even more waiting to be uncovered. Your parallel self has important messages that could change the way you see your life and your spiritual path. In the next video, discover how these messages are being communicated to you and what you need to do to tap into this powerful connection. Don't miss out on this chance to hear what your other self is trying to tell you.